Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Before the Bell. I'm your host, as always, Matt Donato. That hasn't changed. I know you're disappointed. I'm still your host. I'm always going to be your host. This is episode number 8, which means that we've been doing this for a little bit of time now. I'm enjoying myself. I don't know about you guys. Alright, I'm not going to ramble. I am. If you've seen this show before, if you've seen me, you know that's a complete load of bullshit. I'm going to ramble. It's just what I do. So, as always, sit back, relax, throw in those headphones, let me try to entertain you for 45 minutes, give or take. And I say give or take because if you know me, then you know this holds true. I could go under, but we all know that's probably not the case. I'm probably going to go way over the time limit. I set 45 minutes. Sometimes I just can't shut up. And I just keep talking and talking and talking. And hopefully it doesn't lose me any viewers, but you know what? I like to talk. I like to talk about pro wrestling, and I'm pretty sure you guys are here because you like to listen. So, without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into this. Now, I didn't make it on React After Raw this week. Had some prior engagements. I got a job outside of this one, just like all of you guys. I'm a working man. I had to work the night shift, therefore couldn't watch Raw and couldn't be on React, so Alec had demanded himself. Did a hell of a job. But hopefully I'll be back next week. At least I'm pretty sure I will be, but don't hold me to that. I don't want to disappoint. So I'm going to jump right into it. I'm probably gonna talk about Raw a little bit, seeing as I did finally watch it. And let's just start the show with Monday Night Raw. Why the hell not? I don't hear anybody objecting, and even if they did, I wouldn't listen because it's my show. I can do what I want. Raw was awesome. From start to finish. I thought they did a beautiful job. They're really, really doing a great job at building this Orton, Rollins storyline, and even more on the surface of that, an Orton versus Authority storyline. And I thought that the whole angle between the two, Orton going into, Triple H's office, after coming out during Rollins' match. This isn't like React. I'm not going in a particular order. The order I'm going in is in what's sticking in my mind more than other things. Right now, obviously, Randy Orton was the star of the show. All the attention was around him. So that's why I'm, starting this with Randy Orton. Orton going into the office after attacking Seth Rollins, and demanding a match, and then Triple H giving him the match because he wants Orton on his team, because he needs Orton on his team, was brilliant. I thought Orton is looking better than ever. I don't necessarily know that it's because the RKO out of nowhere videos, that's definitely helped. But I feel like before these videos even took off, they were already planning this. So I really don't think it's really a valid assumption that he's getting this big push because of the RKO out of nowhere videos. I just think that this was already pre-planned. But whether or not he has steam behind him from the fan base because of these videos, I think that's more logical. I think that's more acceptable. I think the fans are more into him now because of those videos. I think they don't hurt. They definitely help. But either way, I think so far it's been pretty exciting. I just hope they don't ruin this push. I'm worried about it a little bit because so far so good, but we know how they are with Randy Orton. We know how they tend to handle him. We think we're going to get the Viper again. We think we're going to get that guy from 2009 who, I believe it was punted Stephanie McMahon. I got to go back and watch that. I don't know. I can't remember if he might have done both. But anyway, he attacked Stephanie McMahon, had the huge feud with Triple H, punted Vince, punted Shane McMahon. Just that vicious guy, the guy who leaded Legacy. We want that guy back. We want the legend killer, the guy who RKO'd Hulk Hogan on the hood of a car. It's just, that's the guy we're looking for. But we know how they do this. We think we're getting that guy, but they never pull the trigger. That's what I'm afraid of. Or they pull the trigger, but they're firing blanks. Like when we saw him with the Money in the Bank briefcase, when he cashed in with Triple H um, on Daniel Bryan, we were all expecting that Randy Orton to come out. We were all expecting the Viper to return. We were super excited for it. We were finally getting what we want. And then what do? They don't pull the trigger. We get this corporate bitch, Randy Orton. He's just a lapdog. Yes, man. That's boring. That's the stereotypical bad guy does that. He played the coward heel, and I don't like that. Randy Orton is not meant for that role. Randy Orton is meant for a vicious heel. A guy who just goes in and RKOs everybody. That's what he needs to be. And he wasn't that. And the last time they made him a babyface, he was a cheerleader on SmackDown. Yeah, he was heavyweight champion, but he was doing splits in the air and he was pandering to the crowd. That's lame. Randy Orton needs to be, like I said, for him being the heel, he needs to be that aggressive babyface. And that's what I'm getting at. He needs to be just like he is when he's a heel. But, and I say this all the time, what makes a heel is not the character, it's how the fans react to that character. So he could be the most sinister character going. If the fans are cheering him, that makes him a babyface. There's no way around that. That he is a babyface, period. So, and look at the way the crowd is reacting to him. They are popping for him every time he comes out. They're chanting for the RKO. But he's still vicious. See, it works. They just need to stick with it, and I'm worried that they're not going to do that. Hopefully, we see some sort of progression. I'm praying, and I got my fingers crossed that they don't bring him into Team Cena, because that is so overused. How do we get this guy over as a babyface? Oh, let's put him in the team with Cena, because Cena obviously is the be-all, end-all for all babyfaces, and that's where they're going to fail, because yes, he's a babyface, and yes, he's a popular one. Depends on who you talk to. I mean, you can't deny that he is popular, just not with everybody. But throwing people into a tag team with him just to get them over is not the best way to go about it. And I'm just afraid they're going to do that. And that's going to kind of, when you team up a guy like Orton, with somebody who's Mr. Nice Guy like Cena, and oh, he's helping out Cena, I feel like that's just going to diminish his babyface run. Hopefully, we just see an interference from Orton at Survivor Series. But I'll go into more detail on that when I give you my Survivor Series fantasy booking, if I hadn't already told you yet, which I can't remember. The hell do I know? Probably didn't tell you yet. But I'm going to do some fantasy booking. I got a couple awesome ideas. I'm just going to throw out there and see what you guys think. Maybe you guys can throw some back at me. That'd be pretty cool. I like interacting with you guys, so. But Raw as a whole was pretty good. I really liked it. I say this every single week, and this is like a key word for me. Continuity. Starting and ending the show and having a storyline that connects every single week is so important, and we don't get that all the time. So I'm happy that they did that. As far as, it was really heavily based on Team Cena versus Team Authority. You had Vince McMahon starting the show. That was a surprise. That was awesome. That was cool to see. Good old Vinnie Mac coming out, doing his strut, putting that stipulation in. And here's the thing, though. I don't think that's the last we're going to see of Vince. I think he's going to make an appearance at Survivor Series. And hopefully, from what I've actually read, I don't know how accurate this is. Fingers crossed it's not that accurate, because I don't think this is a good idea. But it sounds like the rumors are saying Triple H and the Authority versus Vince McMahon and The Rock. Now, I'm all for Rock versus Triple H, but it cannot be a part of a storyline. There cannot be, at least it can't be a current storyline. It can't interfere with the Authority storyline. It's just, that's not going to work. Because what happens when The Rock beats him? Oh, nobody else on the roster could beat him but The Rock? Oh, and that makes everybody else look lame. It needs to be its own storyline. So it needs to be Rock versus Triple H, jealousy between the two, who's better, blah blah blah. After the authority, it can't be a part of the authority storyline. The authority storyline has to end before this rivalry can happen. It just is really going to ruin a lot of things if, because The Rock isn't going to be on TV. He's a part-timer, and I don't mind him wrestling. And also, if it's a part of the authority storyline, it worries me because then that'll probably be the main event, and it cannot be the main event. I've said this before. That match can't be the main event. I'm all for seeing it. I think it could be really good. But it cannot be the main event. It just can't. I'm going to be really, really upset. As much as I love The Rock, he's my favorite wrestler of all time. As much as I love The Rock, I cannot, I can't watch this pay-per-view if it's the main event. WrestleMania is just going to be ruined, in my opinion. No matter how good the match is. It's just a pointless rivalry to have, and it takes away from other guys who could have that spot. With that being said, I hope Team Authority ends before Mania. I hope Authority ends soon. I think there needs to be some sort of power struggle. I think Vince is going to come back in some form, but rumors are rumors. I mean, this could even be bullshit. Rock and Vince and Triple H and the Authority, that could be a bunch of garbage. Because as the rumor said before, Vince McMahon is written off TV permanently. He will not be on TV again. The character is completely retired. It's done. And obviously that's a bunch of crap because Vince McMahon came back. So, I say this all the time to people that, a lot of people get mad at sites like ours, news and rumors sites that put these things out there. And, you can't blame the messenger. I mean, do you get pissed off at your mailman for bringing you bills? No. He's just a messenger. He's just sending you these pieces of paper with information on them. He didn't write the bill. He didn't say this is what's going on. He's just sending it to you. So you can't get mad at the mailman. You can't get mad at us for just giving this information. Here, take this information that we found on the internet, that we found from what we think are credible news sources, but we tell you all the time, we're not sure. They're just rumors. Take it for what it is, and do with it what you will. It's not the be all end all. It's not cold hard fact. It's a rumor. Just like it says, it's a rumor. It's not legit. It's not proven yet. We don't know. We're just saying this is a possibility. But too many people come in and they read our stuff and they're just like, oh, this is a fact. And then when it doesn't happen, they get pissed at us. Oh, I'm unliking your Facebook page. Well, if you're that petty, I don't want you as a fan anyway. Should have unliked sooner, you jackass. Man, it seems like every week I'm always beating up on the rope breakers. Man, heel turns every single week. That's a good way to build an audience. Just start yelling at your audience and tell them how much they suck. Not all of you. Just most of you. No, I'm just kidding. Don't leave me. But, like I told you, I'm go off into a tangent. I go off. Do this all the time. Start rambling. I went from Vince McMahon kicks off Monday Night Raw to, the rope breakers suck. How the hell do I do that? And, just so you know, the rope breakers don't suck. Just being stupid. Alright, I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to go back to what I was saying about Monday Night Raw. Vince McMahon returned. I don't think it's going to be the last time we see him. I think that he's going to make some sort of appearance at Survivor Series. And I like the stipulation. It's an interesting stipulation. Authority. But, we kind of already know that they already have plans for the Authority after Survivor Series. So we kind of know that the Authority isn't going to just end. But that doesn't make it any less interesting, because now the question isn't, will the Authority beat Team Cena? It's what's going to happen. They're obviously not going to win. Team Cena's obviously going to win, but how? And how's this going to work? Or, maybe Authority does win somehow. Maybe they cheat to win. Um, I have my theories, and I'm going to leave that for my Survivor Series fantasy booking later on in this podcast. Um, but for now, I think it's going to be interesting. Moving on, we have Big Show versus Mark Henry, which I think is an extremely pointless match. I feel like the only reason they did this was so that they could have Mark Henry for Team Authority and then Big Show for Team Cena. That's really the only thing I can think of. Right now, it's seeming to me like it's going to be Team Cena is going to be Cena, Dolph Ziggler, Sheamus, and Big Show. Or it's 5-on-5, right? Big Show and I want to say Ryback maybe going against Seth Rollins. Nope, number 5 will be Randy Orton unless he just interferes, but I have a feeling it's going to be Orton because he got taken out and he's going to make a huge return because nobody saw that coming out of nowhere. Very predictable, but whatever, that's just me. And then we're going to have Team Authority, Seth Rollins, Kane, Mark Henry, Rusev, and Cesaro. So it'll be 5-on-5. That's going to be the teams. And it's just going to be lame. I'm calling it now. I just feel like it's really, really going to be lame. Not completely interested in seeing this match. I don't see any point in it. The stipulation is cool. I'm hoping I'm completely wrong. I really do. I'm hoping this match is actually interesting. But I'm not interested in seeing Big Show and Mark Henry, period. This whole storyline is stupid. Big Show crying into the microphone, I just want my friend back. Get the fuck out of here. Why are you even still employed? Go away. You have nothing to give to this company anymore. You paid your dues. We appreciate that. I appreciate that. In your prime, you were the man. I know a lot of people would disagree with that. I liked you in your prime. I thought you had a lot to give, and you're definitely the best big man to ever step foot in the ring. And we appreciate that. Now it's time to retire, get your Hall of Fame ring, and go. You got nothing left for this company. I'm not interested in seeing you. You put Rusev over a little bit, but nobody really remembers that match anymore. It wasn't very good. Same thing with Mark Henry. They effed you up, dude. Shoddy booking really screwed you over, and I'm a huge fan of yours. But I mean, unless they do, I don't see them doing anything interesting with you in the near future. So I think it's about time you wrapped it up. This rivalry is just stupid. As soon as I saw the heel turn, I knew this rivalry was going to happen, and I was so upset about it because it's not going to be good. It's never good. Two big, slow guys who are old and beat up and really don't have anything in them anymore as a rivalry. And then you have the big one. You have the world's largest athlete freaking crying into a microphone, I want my friend back. Oh my god, shut up, dude. So stupid. Part of him just wants... what else did he say? Part of me just wants to knock him out of my life. Is this a fucking soap opera? That's literally what I said it's a goddamn soap opera. It's ridiculous. Just me all fired up. And then we're going to see him on Team Cena. Hopefully they just freaking destroy each other in the first couple of minutes of the match, and then they're just laying there outside the ring for the rest of the Survivor Series match. Oh, is there even a count out for the Survivor Series? I can't even remember. I don't think so. I know it's an elimination, but I don't know if there's a count out. Oh well, they knock each other out and then they retire forever. They're gone. That match, to me, it was just pointless. This whole rivalry sucks. I'm not interested in it, and I don't want to see them. Like I said, I think the only reason this is even happening is just so that they could have two big guys on opposite teams. Oh, they're feuding together, so it makes sense to have them on opposite teams. Why? You don't have to do that. It's not necessary. Just because there's two different guys on a team doesn't mean they have to actually be having a rivalry at that moment. You could actually use this as an opportunity to build a rivalry. But no, why would you do that? That's forward thinking, and you guys don't know what you're fucking doing. So why would you ever do that? Oh, how about we build a rivalry out of the Survivor Series match and give it meaning? Wow, there's a thought. There's a novel idea. Oh, I swear to God, I'm about to just turn this show into fuck creative. I really think that's what I'm gonna do. To hell with creative. That's what I'm gonna call it. To hell with creative. Instead of before the bell. That's pretty much what this is becoming. And I don't hate creative. I'm just so frustrated with their lack of, not even just lack of knowledge of the company and of the industry. I mean, you have freaking Rachel, dude who wrote for Rachel Ray is now writing SmackDown. What? How? How is he a head writer? That makes no sense. Oh, he knows reality television. You need to get your shit together. Do you want this to be a wrestling show or a reality show? Pick one. You want it to be a reality show? Fine. Then I'm done watching. I swear to God, if that's what happens, I will go watch TNA until it dies, which is probably going to be like in a couple weeks. But, and for those of you who love TNA, I want to just tell you from the bottom of my heart, I am extremely sorry for you. That really sucks. But seriously though, that sucks. It just makes no sense to me. It's just such a waste of time. I don't want to see the Big Slow on my TV anymore. I don't want to see Mark Henry on my TV anymore. I just don't want to see it. It's just ridiculous. So we're going to move past that stupid segment because I could care less. And I did forget a match. Forgive me. I don't know how I could forget this. Dean Ambrose versus Cesaro to open the show. Really wasn't impressed with the match. I really was not impressed. I thought it was actually a pretty lame match. You know, knowing the two guys in the ring are damn good at what they do. I thought it was a very lame, boring match. I really didn't think it was very good. I thought Cesaro actually fell short. I kind of put a little bit of the blame on Cesaro. As much as I love the guy, he's one of my all-time favorites. I think he's extremely talented. I kind of feel like he fell short. I feel like he kind of missed a couple moves. You know, he didn't do as good as he normally does or could do. So I was a little disappointed in him. Bray Wyatt sitting in his rocking chair, laughing. I thought that was the best part. You know, I thought Bray Wyatt sold that match better than the two guys in the ring. You know, his laughing and mocking during the match. You know, when he saw Dean Ambrose beating on Cesaro, he would start laughing and smiling. And then when Cesaro won, the smile was gone and it was just a blank stare. I thought that was awesome. And then his new kind of, I don't want to say vignette, but his little, the little video package that they play, you know, to say either he's coming in or he's leaving. I like the new one. It's actually really cool looking. But of course, the WWE had to screw that up because then you see the video and it goes to commercial. And then when they come back, they have to explain that during the WWE. Oh, that was actually, no, I lied. That wasn't when he left. That was when he came in. That's an even bigger fuck up. The big part of your match is that the lights go out and when they come back on, Bray Wyatt's sitting there in the rocking chair. How do you have the lights go out and then cut to commercial, and then when you come back on, Bray Wyatt's sitting there, and then the announce team has to explain to you, oh, yeah, when the lights went out and they turned back on, Bray Wyatt just appeared. And they don't even bother replaying it to show you what happened. Nope, they're just going to explain it to you, and you're going to have to be like, whatever. What a waste. So terrible. Oh my God. I don't know who's in charge of that, but that was terrible. Absolutely horrible. Very disappointed in the production team on that one. That was just garbage. But yeah, I can't believe I missed that match. Maybe because probably because it wasn't that good to me. I wasn't interested in it as much as I love Ambrose and Cesaro. I just wasn't feeling it. Didn't think it was that good. So moving on from that, what else did we have? Rusev's poor Zack Ryder getting buried again by Rusev. He must have pissed somebody off because that poor guy. His title. I think I talked about this last week. I can't exactly remember. Um, if I did, let me know. But I feel like Zack Ryder had to have pissed somebody off. How do you get your fake title into a video game, into 2K15, your internet championship, which isn't even a real title? It's a bullshit title that you made up for your YouTube show. How does that get on the video game but you don't? Like, that title has no bearings on anything without Zack Ryder being there. It makes no sense to have that. Nobody else, that title is not associated with anybody but Zack Ryder. Nobody's ever won it. Nobody else has ever held it. Just Zack Ryder. That is such a slap in the face. I'm like, I get that you don't want Ryder in the game, but why would you put his title in there and then not even have him in there? Seriously, I think he pissed somebody off. He had to have. Because that is just an obvious fuck you to Zack Ryder. And then obviously on Raw, you know, he goes up against Rusev, which we know is going to be a squash match, which it was. Um, he gets beaten. He taps out to the whatever the hell that move's being called. I don't even remember. The Accolade, that's what it's called. He taps out to the Accolade. Rusev crushes him. Um, and then Rusev, once again, like he did on SmackDown, calls out Sheamus. He says he's going to beat him because they obviously have that match for the U.S. Championship. Um, Sheamus, of course, then comes out to say fella probably 30 times because that's pretty much his entire promo. Fella, 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 fella. And bro kick, bro kick, bro kick, fella, bro kick. Pretty much just summed up his promo for you. Oh yeah, I'm Irish, but I love America. That was his promo. Not interested. Don't like Sheamus. The guys over here at Rope Break, me, Aussie, Alec, and myself are very vocal about making sure you guys know that we absolutely hate Sheamus. Not personally. I can't speak for them. I don't personally hate the guy. I've just never liked him, never been interested in his character, thought he was not that great. He's just big. Anyway, with that being said, even though it was after the show on the network, which is ridiculous, I kind of want to talk about Rusev versus Sheamus because it pisses me off. First and foremost, I get from a business standpoint that you are trying to build up your network because nobody's buying it. I get that. I really, really do. But Sheamus versus Rusev for the U.S. Championship is not the way to do it. Not only because nobody really cares about the match, but because nobody cares about the match because there is zero build. First of all, when you call this match on SmackDown, which nobody watches, you gotta be kidding me. And then you announce it again on Raw, expect people to tune in and care. Worst case scenario, nobody's buying the network for $9.99 to watch Rusev versus Sheamus. Nobody gives a shit. Worst case scenario, they're gonna stream it like they do everything else. I didn't see the match. I don't know if it was good. I didn't care to watch it. I know that Rusev won and he became the new United States champion, which is great. I think this rivalry needs to happen. Here's the problem. It's not a rivalry. This is the best matchup for Rusev right now because Sheamus, whether I like him or not, is built up. People, when you hear Sheamus's music, they're like, okay, Sheamus is going to kick their ass because you're used to it. He's built up. He's kind of like Cena in a sense. Not to compare the two, but, unstoppable, kind of strong guy. He's going to beat the shit out of anybody. He's a fighting Irishman. That's the kind of character he's got. So you expect an ass kicking from him. The most meaningful rivalry of Rusev's career right now, and you delegate it to the network without a build? Tell me that makes sense. You put more stock in Rusev versus Big Slow and that fucking slob Mark Henry than you do a match that actually is going to mean something for him? tells me you don't give a shit about his build, period, because that makes no sense to me. You're gonna put more time and attention into his garbage feud with Jack Swagger that went nowhere. Where's Swagger now? Probably retired on the beach with his frickin' smoking, as The Rock said, smoking wife. If you haven't seen pictures of Swagger's wife, I'm just confused. Damn. Go check those out. They're pretty damn good. But you put all this time into all of these meaningless rivalries that go nowhere. They build them a little bit. They've been building them and building them, but the one rivalry that actually makes sense, that could really put this guy over, you throw it on the network, hoping people will pay $9.99. That's not the time to do it. You wasted. I mean, I would get it if there was at least a build, if they at least spent a couple of weeks building this, or at least had a little bit of tension between the two. But there's nothing to say, oh, this is going to be an awesome match. You didn't even have a time to really process it. You had a SmackDown, and then a couple days later, Raw, and boom, he's a champion. I thought it was such a waste, and really pissed me off. And I'm not happy about the title change. I would have been okay if Sheamus had not even beaten him, because either way, I thought when I heard about this match, I'm like, this is a lose-lose for either guy. Because if Rusev loses, he loses on the network, not even on a broadcast channel, on the frickin' network, which nobody buys. It's not that it's just here's the problem with the network. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant. Are you trying to tell me that you weren't just ranting before? No, I was ranting before, but I'm gonna continue my rant on a different topic really quickly, because this whole thing has just become a rant. Here's the problem with the network. It's not that it's too expensive. $9.99 is a great price. And yes, it's worth it for the pay-per-views alone. That's definitely a fact. But when when you're seeing $10 taken out of your paycheck every single month, and there's no new original programming, why are you gonna watch? I mean, yeah, it's cheaper for the pay-per-views. You get decent, it's better than a stream. But I mean, a lot of people just rather watch a stream for free than pay $10, for one thing a month. I don't know. I mean, for the pay-per-views alone, yeah, it makes sense. I just wish there was more original programming, better shows, because the shows that they have right now aren't that great. I'm just a little bit I'm a little bit worried about the network. I don't know that it's gonna hold up. That's just me being I'm not prognosticating. I'm not trying to tell the future, because I don't know, it could be a huge success, but nobody's buying it. And back to my original rant, putting the U.S. Championship. You know what that tells me? Not only do you not give a shit about the build of Rusev, you don't give a shit about the U.S. Championship. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't give a shit about the U.S. Championship. But if it's that worthless to you that you're just going to throw it on the network, hoping to get view. First of all, that's not the title to do that with, because that title is not going to get you viewership. Nobody says, you know what? I wasn't going to buy the network before, but they have the U.S. Championship on there right now. You know what? I think I'm going to change. I think I changed my mind. I think I'm going to pay $9.99 for the network. $9.99 for the network. Doesn't happen. Nobody just decides to buy the network because, oh, well, they have the U.S. Championship match on there. I'm going to have to watch it. No, not how it works. I don't know who thought that, but it was stupid. A waste of time you ruined. Well, could have been a possibly good feud between Sheamus and Rusev. I knew Rusev was going to win. And, oh, by the way, I would like to just say, I predicted this to happen. I knew it was going to happen. Rusev was going to win the U.S. title. Now, thought that they were building up Jack Swagger to take it back from him and be the guy who beats him. but I don't know. I It's still possible. I think it could. I think Zeb Coulter could come back. I haven't seen him or Swagger. I don't know what they're planning. I don't know. But having it on the network, I thought it was just a waste. Really annoyed me. Um, was not happy with the outcome of that. I wanted Rusev to win, but not that way. Not on the network. On a pay per view where it deserves to be. I just thought it was a waste. Moving along, I'm trying to think of what else was on Raw that really stuck out in my mind. Obviously, Rollins versus Ziggler. Ziggler standing up to the authority. Little bit put off by Ziggler's promo. I didn't really feel a lot of passion behind it. I felt like he really felt defeated. I mean, actually in real life, not on the show. Like he just felt like, I'm in the doghouse for. He has a tendency that when he gets to this place, when he gets to a place where he's finally getting something good, where he's finally all of his hard work is paying off, he runs his mouth, and there's repercussions for that. It's a free country. He can do what he wants to do. But he's talented. Hopefully he can keep his mouth shut and just do what he's got to do. Um, Rollins versus Ziggler. Awesome match. One of the best matches of the night. Thought really, really well done. Obviously they both look good together. That curb stomp was sold beautifully. Not surprised one bit. And then showboating a little bit. Orton comes in RKO. Really great way to end that. Um, I kind of thought Cena might run in and give him an AA, but it makes sense, obviously, that Orton would do it. And like I said earlier in the podcast, Orton's backstage segment with Triple H, almost a defiant look in his eyes. I thought there was a lot of great nuance acting, where he didn't have to say anything. He acted with his eyes. You knew what he was thinking without him actually saying anything. Really impressed. You knew he had that defiant look in his eyes. When Triple H said, I want you to pick each other up, pat each other back, and and we're gonna go to Survivor Series and win. And that look in his eyes was like, okay, whatever you say, Pops. I'm gonna get in the ring and do whatever I gotta do. I thought that was pretty awesome. I think we can kind of skip over the tag team match because it's not doing too well. Although, actually, I do want to say one thing now that I'm thinking of it. Miz and Mizdow are seeming to become a tag team. I think this could be huge for them. They need to win the tag team titles. Here's why. When they win the titles, I think there needs to be a huge dissension between the two. I think there needs to be an eventual fall where Mizdow gets blamed for the loss or something like that. And then Mizdow, because right now Mizdow or Sandow needs to be the babyface. He's got a huge pop with the crowd. The crowd loves him. He is entertaining. I love watching him. He's funny as hell. And he is, when I first saw him I loved him in this role when I first saw him. And I was not shy about saying it. I know a couple people were upset over Mizdow or Sandow's buried. He's never coming back from this. And I was always optimistic about it. Give him some time. I don't think you can be buried to the point where you can't ever come back. But, well, I mean, unless you're fired, then, oh no, even then you can come back. So I don't think there's a point where you could never come back and be something big. I just think that he's hitting a rough patch, but I think, he's showing his true star power right now by proving that when he's hit with something like that, a terrible, crappy gimmick like that, which actually isn't that bad of a gimmick, or if somebody of his talent, it's a crappy gimmick because you want to see him as a champion, that he's running with it, and he's doing a hell of a job, and the crowd is eating it up. He's getting more pops than anybody else. When he got super kicked by, I want to say it was Jay, yeah, it was Jay, when he got super kicked by Jey Uso. Jey Uso, a babyface in the company, gets booed by the crowd. And people love that guy. And he got booed because he kicked Sandow. that shows you how over Mizdow is with the crowd and how exciting he is. There needs to be dissension between the team. They need to split up, and Mizdow needs to go his own separate ways. Break out and be his own character. And I think this could be huge for him. There could be a rivalry in there. That's what they need to do. I'm interested in seeing that, but that's all I'm going to say about the tag team division, because right now, Los Matadors should not be in there. That Bull should not be in there. And Stardust needs to just go away forever, because I'm not interested in him. I say this every single podcast that we do, whether it's this, React, whatever you see me on. And I'm going to say it again. Fuck Stardust. Okay, that's my 2 cents on that. And we're going to move on. We'll move on to, I don't think I missed anything else. I probably did miss a couple matches in between. I'm sure I did. But we're going to go ahead. Oh, what about, I did forget something. Eric Rowan making his appearance, being really creepy to Renee. I don't know what they're trying to do there. Not really sure what they're trying to build. I'm just not sure what they're trying to do. Interested to know what you guys think of that little segment, whether you thought it was good, bad, indifferent, whether you're not or you're indifferent to it. I think that Luke Harper should have been the one to be pushed first, not Rowan. I don't think he's ready. But, this is one of those things we're going to have to wait. Oh, I know one thing I didn't like. The sheep mask. To me, that makes no sense. You're trying to build him as a solo. You break him up from Bray. That makes no sense to me. You break him up from Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt brought him in as his disciple. He fixed him, as they said in all the vignettes that they played. And now that he set him free, he's no longer Bray's sheep. So why is he wearing the mask? That's associated with Bray. It's the same mistake they're making with Roman Reigns. And to me, it's just ridiculous. I don't know. We'll have to see where that goes. Roman Reigns, we'll get to him in a minute. I actually have some pretty cool news I'm excited about. Hopefully you guys are too. Or maybe you just won't give a shit. The main event was awesome. Really loved the way it went through. That match was phenomenal. Orton and Rollins. I cannot wait for this rivalry. That match really had me on my feet. I thought they did a great job. Great in-ring chemistry. Really excited to see where this goes. The ending was phenomenal. Taking out Orton really builds this up. Makes me excited. Orton looked good. That RKO that he gave to Rollins. That RKO that he gave to Joey Mercury. That looked solid. Joey Mercury sold the hell out of that. Great matchup between the two, taking the two out. Triple H looking like he really didn't want to pull the trigger on this. Oh, I don't want to end this. We need Randy. This could be bad. And constantly saying, damn it, Triple H sold the hell out of that. Awesome segment from all sides. Really enjoyed it. Great way to close Raw. Really enjoyed Monday Night Raw. Thought it was one hell of a show. Even the filler matches weren't too bad. The continuity is always a plus with me. I always love to see that. I thought they did a great job of building storylines. So, I really enjoyed that. But going back to Roman Reigns real quick, the thing that I wanted to talk about really quickly is that there's actually rumors that Roman Reigns is taking acting classes during his time off. I don't know about you guys. I am really excited about that. Roman Reigns is a guy that I really want to like. But he just can't connect with me on the mic. He's just, there's nothing about him that makes me excited when he gets on the microphone. It's iffy. The guy that he's training with also trained with Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, I want to say DDP, Cody Rhodes, and a couple other really top-notch stars. Cody Rhodes, as of late, not Stardust character. Before he became Stardust, really was showing his colors on the mic and really was showing that he actually does have skills. And I think that was due to the training from whoever he trained with, the guy that he's training with, who's now training Roman Reigns. Hopefully they can work on something because he has the potential to be big. makes me happy and excited because this shows that they're actually taking notice to the fact that he's not that good on the mic. They're not just ignoring it and trying to throw him in the middle because that could be a huge mistake. They're taking the time and working on him while he's out. Makes me really excited to see that. Makes me a little more confident in the WWE, just a little bit. Hopefully they can do something. Hopefully he can do something. I want to like the guy. I really, really do. They need to get rid of the Shield crap, though. That's what I was kind of, that was kind of, what I was comparing Eric Rowan to was the fact that he's still wearing the sheep mask, which associates him with Bray Wyatt. If you're going to split somebody up from a team, you're going to make them go solo, you can't have him doing anything that still associates him with that former team. If Hulk Hogan left NWO back in the day and he was still wearing NWO stuff, it wouldn't be the same. It'd be weird. If Triple H went as a solo and was still wearing DX attire, would that make sense? You would still think, oh, Triple H from DX, the funny guy, makes you laugh, instead of the serious, badass, cerebral assassin, King of Kings type guy. You need to get rid of those things that associates them with the team that you're trying to split them up with. Roman Reigns needs to get rid of the Shield theme song and the Shield gear. Needs to be his own guy. I say that every week, and I mean it every week, but it's true. So I want to quickly just throw out there that Mick Foley. I'm addressing the IWC here because it really frustrates me. I was reading an article about Mick Foley, and how he is, when he was first asked to be, if he would want to come back in some sort of day-to-day basis, and the idea thrown out was that he could come back to be the general manager of Monday Night Raw. He said, I don't think that they're going to call me to be the general manager. I don't think that they would call me to be the general manager, and if they did, I probably would turn it down. Now he's saying, after being on Raw, I feel energized, and I feel like I actually might have something, that I could bring to the table as general manager. Now, personally, I would love to see Mick Foley as a general manager. I would love to see it. I think it would be amazing for television. His promos are really amazing, so heartfelt and passionate, energetic. You just feel everything he says. That's something that's missing these days. So having him as a GM, I think, would be great. But the IWC is just ridiculous. I was reading the comments, and everybody's talking about Foley would suck, all this and that. It's like these are the same people that were having orgasms over this effing guy, getting thrown off the steel cage, Hell in a Cell with The Undertaker. Oh, Foley's the man. Foley's God. And now, oh, Foley sucks. Foley's this, Foley's that. These fucking people are ridiculous. It makes no sense. I read one comment in particular that really pissed me off, and he quoted what Mick Foley said about, I don't think the WWE would call me to be a general manager, and if they did, I'd probably turn it down. His comment was, that's the most arrogant thing I've ever heard Mick Foley say, and that's saying a lot. I just want to say to you, sir, fuck you. Because I don't understand how you even get that. How you get arrogance out of that. To me, you know what that sounds like to me? A normal, where my brain actually operates properly. To me, that says, I don't think the WWE will call me because I'm not good enough. They're probably not thinking about me, and they probably wouldn't call me. And if they did, I've taken so many falls off of cages. I've been through so many burning tables. I can barely walk. I have a punctured lung. My tooth is missing. My ear is missing. I probably wouldn't be able to. Not, oh, he's being arrogant. Mick Foley will tell you himself he's not good. He doesn't view himself as, as anywhere near as popular as guys like The Rock. When everybody ever says The Rock and Sock connection to him, he will always put all the light on The Rock. He's the most humble guy I've ever seen. The fact that this guy has done so much and doesn't view himself to be a star like The Rock and Stone Cold is amazing to me. And the fact that all of these assholes in the IWC can just throw him to the side like he's done nothing for the company, when these were the same idiots buying his merchandise year after year after year after year, asking for autographs, telling him how great he was, are now turning around saying he sucks. You people are idiots. You don't deserve to be wrestling fans. You suck. Go fuck yourselves. Okay, that was my rant on the IWC that really frustrated me and annoyed me. So I figured I'd just tell them to go fuck themselves because that's what I do here. Man, I got a potty mouth. I can't. Somebody's gonna wash my mouth out with soap. Ugh, so angry. Um. Oh, also, I just wanted to quickly say that this makes no sense to me. Cena versus Ryback on Raw. They announced it on SmackDown that Ryback is going to be facing Cena on Raw this week. That doesn't make sense to me. I hope they don't push Ryback as a heel. This is a lose-lose for Ryback. He beats Cena, fans are going to hate him. He loses Cena, he looks bad. How do you get... What is the point of this? I mean, there's no storyline built on this. Maybe he beats Cena or impresses Cena and Cena brings him onto his team? I don't know. To me, it's just a poor booking choice. Makes no sense to me. But that brings us. I told you I was going to go into overtime. I said 45 minutes. I'm about 5 minutes over. Probably going to be a little bit more because I promised you I'm going to do some Survivor Series booking. Without further ado, here we go. Okay, so I did two separate types of booking. I did one where I used my brain and I booked as if I were the creative of this generation, of this era, and how they're probably going to book Survivor Series. And then I took a step back and I booked with my heart, the way as me as a fan, the way I would love to see this play out. And I got a couple of scenarios. We're gonna go with the first one where, I'm booking from my head. I'm booking the way I think that they're going to book it, the way I think it's actually gonna go down. Like I said earlier, I think Team Cena is gonna be comprised of Cena, Dolph Ziggler, Sheamus, Big Show, and Randy Orton. I think they're going to screw this up, and I think they're going to put Randy Orton in the middle. I think he's going to be part of Team Cena. He's going to be some surprise entrant. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to see Seth Rollins, Kane, Mark Henry, Rusev, and I think they may or may not leave that last part open. I think this is how they're going to do this. I think they're going to leave the last guy open. I don't think there's going to be another guy on their team until Survivor Series, or not. Maybe not. Maybe they'll, maybe the week leading up to Survivor Series, to try to get ticket sales for that. But I think their fifth member of Team Authority is going to be Brock Lesnar. I feel like that's who they're bringing in. I think that'll give him some TV time, seeing as they were renegotiating. They were trying to get him to do more TV time, more pay-per-views. I think they'll bring him back for Survivor Series and have him do something. Maybe he'll be, I'm thinking they might leave him out, and then Cena thinks, and then what's going to happen is Cena's going to beat Team Authority, or so he thinks, and, he's going to stand up, everybody's going to be freaking out. Team Cena won, the Authorities no more, and then Triple H grabs the mic. Oh, nope. Sorry. There's one more member. There's only 4 of us. There's one more member I forgot to talk to you about. That's when Team Authority jumps in and beats up Cena. Brock Lesnar's music hits. F5, 1, 2, 3. Team Authority wins. Done deal. That's how I think it's going to go down. I don't think it's going to be that interesting. Brock Lesnar will be cool to see, but... and it could just end with... I also have a feeling it might just end with Randy Orton standing tall, because it is in Missouri. We could get some really lackluster, finish to the match where Team Cena wins and then Orton, RKO's Rollins and stands tall. It could be something really lame like that. But here is the real booking. Here's an awesome scenario that I would love to see. I think it would be really, really cool to see this scenario. Okay, so... The Authority does whatever they can to take out Team Cena. They're beating up everybody that says they're going to join Team Cena. They take out Dolph Ziggler. They take out Sheamus. They take out the Big Show. They use their guys to take out his guys. They're all out. Then, the Monday Night Raw before Survivor Series, Triple H gets on the mic and opens the show by calling out the entire active roster. They all line the stage. He looks at them all and says, if anyone on the active roster that's currently on the active roster decides to join Team Cena for Survivor Series, you will be fired effective immediately. Therefore, now nobody can join Team Cena. Cena comes into Survivor Series, and he's alone. Gets on the mic, talks to Triple H, tells him, you know what, you did a good job by, you struck fear into everybody on the roster, by telling them if they join me, then you're gonna then you'll fire them effective immediately. But there's one thing that you left out, one thing you didn't think of, and that's that you've pissed off a lot of people. And one little keyword stuck with me. You said anybody on the active roster. Well, there are a couple people that are inactive that you've pissed off. That's when Vince McMahon's music hits. Vince McMahon comes out and tells Triple H that he's tired of him ruining his show. Authority needs to end, and he's going to end it, and he's put together a team to do it, a team of men who hate you just as much as I do. That's when Randy Orton's music hits. Randy Orton comes out to join Team Cena. Now, I know before I said I don't want to see Orton on Team Cena. This is the only way that this would work. Orton comes out and gets in Triple H's face, or gets in Seth Rollins' face, and tells him he's going to take him out. Then, boom, Roman Reigns' music hits. Roman Reigns makes his return to Survivor Series and gets in the ring. And I don't know who, like I said, it doesn't matter. There doesn't need to be a rivalry on that end. Just the fact that they're part of Team Authority means he wants to take them out. Boom. Daniel Bryan's music hits. Daniel Bryan comes out. Daniel Bryan gets in the ring and stands tall next to Cena, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, right across from the Authority, staring them down. One more member left. And without anybody expecting it, making his return finally to the WWE, CM Punk makes his return, stands tall next to Daniel Bryan, John Cena, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns. All of these guys have huge issues with the Authority. Maybe if Brock Lesnar is on the other side, and CM Punk could stand tall with Brock Lesnar, even though I don't want to see Cena versus Brock, so that's just kind of my fantasy. Let's just pretend that doesn't actually happen, and Cena versus Brock isn't going to happen anymore. That's over with. That would be my fantasy booking. I would love to see that. Cena doesn't seem to have a team, but his team ends up becoming all the guys that the Authority has held down. Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, and CM Punk all come back to take out the Authority once and for all. I think that would be awesome. That would be such a great way to do it. I think to me, that would be the greatest Survivor Series of all time if that happened. I know CM Punk haters are going to get on me for that. But, like I said, I don't care. Interested to know what you guys think about anything that I said, but especially the fantasy booking. What do you think of my fantasy booking? And how would you fantasy book this? Leave a comment in the comment section, hence the name comment section. And let me know how you would book this Survivor Series. Who would you have Team Cena, and who would you have Team Authority? That was just my fantasy. I don't think that's happening. There's no rumors regarding it, so don't get your hopes up. CM Punk probably won't return, neither will Daniel Bryan or Roman Reigns, although that would make sense. Let's take out the Authority with the guys that the Authority has been putting down since day one. It would make sense to have a team of Cena, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and CM Punk. That just makes sense to me. That's your team. I think that could be an awesome storyline. That would get me excited. Have all these returns just hit off at once, led pretty much by Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon's trying to take out Triple H. Vince versus Triple H could be one hell of a show. Vince is trying to take out Triple H. That could easily lead into Rock versus Triple H. The Rock or Triple H is talking garbage to Vince. Vince obviously being like 900 years old, isn't going to get in the ring to fight because he would just try to run a little bit and his knees would fall off or something. Um, so he says that he brought somebody in to fight his battle for him because he's a little bit too old to do that these days. Maybe he even says something like, if this was back in the day and I was a little bit younger, I would easily kick your ass. But for right now, I have somebody else. And then, if you smell. And The Rock comes back. Rock versus Triple H at the behest of Vince McMahon. That could be interesting. That I wouldn't mind. As long as it's not the main event of WrestleMania, then I think that could be cool. But getting way ahead of myself. We're getting way into overtime. It's an hour. I went way into overtime. I told you that was probably going to happen. I had to recap Raw. I had a lot to cover, guys. I had to recap Raw. I had to talk about a couple of topics. And then I had to give you my fantasy book. I promised it at the beginning. And if I promise something, I'm going to deliver on it. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. Did my daily rants. I ranted about the creative team. To hell with them. They don't know what they're doing. But like I said, Survivor Series is probably going to end up being Cena, Ziggler, Big Show, Sheamus, and probably Randy Orton, most likely. And then Team Authority is probably going to be Triple H. Or not Triple H, what am I saying? Triple H isn't going to be on there. Seth Rollins, Kane. We're going to say Mark Henry. I'm trying to think of all the guys. Because each one of those guys has a rivalry with one another. So Seth Rollins, Kane, definitely Cesaro. Cesaro is going to be in there because he's obviously feuding with Ziggler. Cesaro and Ziggler, Seth Rollins and Randy Orton, and then you're going to have obviously Mark Henry and Big Show, Rusev and Sheamus, and then I think we'll just probably do Cena and Kane, since they had a match at some WWE live event. So I'm assuming that's going to be the rivalry right there, Kane and Cena. That's probably what's going to happen. It's going to come down to John Cena. John Cena's going to overcome the odds, 1, 2, 3. And maybe Authority just doesn't leave because Vince doesn't have any power. I don't know. I am interested to see how they do this. But I'm anticipating them falling short and not really doing a good job because I always expect huge things from them. I always fantasy book myself and get way too excited. This is what's going to happen. And then it never comes anywhere close to the way that I predicted it. Because I'm not predicting with my head, I'm predicting with my heart, as Aussie always likes to say. And it ruins it for me. So now I'm keeping my standards low. I'm keeping my excitement level, at a bare minimum. Hoping that it's going to be a good pay-per-view, but, not getting my hopes up. Because I'm not going to get myself all hyped up to be disappointed by some bullshit finish where Cena overcomes the odds and then gives the AA to Seth Rollins at the end, and I'm anticipating a lackluster finish because that's just how they roll. But be sick to see my fantasy booking, kind of play out. I think that'd be cool. I mean, come on, Daniel Bryan returns, Roman Reigns returns, CM Punk returns. That'd be huge with Randy Orton on his team. That makes for such an awesome storyline. I would love to see that. But I digress. I'm going way over time. I'm just rambling now. And now it's the time of the show where I say goodbye. Your favorite part of the show. Because I talk way too much. And probably by like 30 minutes, you're already like, alright, wrap this shit up, dude. I got stuff to do. So I'll try to wrap it up. Hope you enjoyed the show. Like I said, this is episode number 8. We've been doing this for a little bit now. As I ask every single podcast, let me know what you thought. Let me know in the comments. Do you think I should go longer? Do you think I should go shorter? What do you think I should add or take away? I really want to make this show for the fans, by the fans. I want you guys to really let me know what you think. If you love the show, then let me know. But if there's things that I can do to make it more entertaining for you guys, that's what I'm doing this for. I'm doing this to entertain you guys, to give you guys, a place to go and talk about pro wrestling, where all opinions are welcome. unless your opinion is that Mick Foley's arrogant, then like I said before, you can go fuck yourself. You're not welcome here. Um, no, you're welcome here, but I'm just gonna tell you straight up that you're an idiot. I don't hold back. But as always, for everybody at Rope Break, we appreciate you, Rope Breakers. And as I end everything, as I end this podcast, I end React with the same exact thing because it always holds true. If you are a rope breaker, a fan of ropebreakwrestling.com, and you have a friend that knows nothing about us, has never seen our Facebook page, facebook.com/ropebreakwrestling, has never followed us on Twitter, twitter.com/ropebreakwrestling, never even been to our website, ropebreakwrestling.com, then you are being neglectful. You need to bring him over to the Rope Break lifestyle. I say this every time, ropebreakwrestling.com. Rope Break is a lifestyle. And if you're not living the Rope Break lifestyle, then you are not truly living. And that is not me being biased. I know what you're thinking. You co-own this. You're a writer. You're an administrator. You're just trying to get people to like your page. Nope, not at all. I'm not being biased. This is really a great place to be, says everybody that's been here. And like I said, it's not me being biased. That is just a fact of life. And you can go to the bleachers if you want. You can sit cage side. But the fact will always remain that there's no better place to be than in the ring with Rope Break. In the words of Tyson Kidd, fact. And that is the show. That's enough out of me. Oh, I gotta let you know, we're getting really close, by the way. 3,000 likes on Facebook, and we are giving away a copy of 2K15 for the console of your choice. That means if you win the contest, if we pick your name, you will get a copy, a free copy of 2K15 for either the PS3, the Xbox 360, the PS4, or the Xbox One. You can get it for any console of your choosing. Whatever console you want it for, you got it. And we'll ship it straight to your house free of charge. You pay nothing. All you have to do is like the page. And if you want to know how you can win this if we reach 3,000 likes, then you're going to have to follow us on Twitter. And you're going to have to like our page on Facebook. And while you're at it, subscribe to our YouTube channel right here, Rope Break Wrestling's YouTube channel. That way, whenever you want to watch Before the Bell, it's always going to be here. You don't got to search us out. You'll have us subscribed. You can just go into your subscriptions and you'll find us right there. And while you're at it, bookmark ropebreakwrestling.com so you can stay up to date on all the latest news and rumors that are, wrestling related. There's no better place to get them than at Rope Break. We sift through all the bullshit. That's what we do for you guys. We sift through the bullshit. You can go and you can spend hours looking at all these other garbage websites that give you all these nonsense stories that you don't want to care. Stephanie McMahon breaks a nail working out. Who gives a shit? Do you really care about that? No. You want to know that Stone Cold Steve Austin might be coming back to the WWE. Mick Foley might be coming back as a general manager. That's the stuff you want to hear. Roman Reigns is improving, trying to get better so that when he makes a return, he can make something of himself. That's the stuff you want to hear, and that's what we give you. That's why Rope Break is the best place to be. I'm done rambling. I'm done plugging. Go check out The Sharpshoot with my main man, Aussie. Go check out React every single Monday after Raw with my man, Alec. This has been Before the Bell. I'm your host, Matt Donato. Episode number 8 is in the bag. I will see you guys right back here. Same exact time. Same exact place.